Alrighty, so today I'm going to do a video where I'm going to create my own MLS All-Star 11 that is going to be playing against Liga MX All Star, and that I'm pretty much in the shoes of Adrian Heath in this one, looking at all the talented player on the MLS All-Star roster and basically putting them in the starting 11, and who of course is going to be starting in that game against Liga MX All Star. So we start off with the formation, and I'm actually going to go with the 4-2-3-1. This is a formation that Adrian Heath pretty much used this for every single Loons game that he basically played. Like, I think besides the last one when Minnesota decided to trot out a 4-4-2, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that they were injured to hell, and that it pretty much handcuffed Adrian Heath to go with a 4-4-2 instead of his traditional 4-2-3-1. I thought in this game he probably will stick with that in this one against the Liga MX All Stars. So we start off with goalkeeper, and I'm going to go with Sean Johnson as the goalkeeper here for the MLS All Stars. So there was really between him, Blake, or Dane Sinclair, and obviously it's not Dane Sinclair, even though I have a feeling maybe Dane Sinclair is going to do so, because, you know, I have a feeling maybe Adrian Heath is going to pick his favorite guy and pick the guy that he basically have seen game in and game out. So I have a feeling the two Minnesota player that made it to the All-Star game, Reynoso and Sinclair, could potentially get some minutes, but in reality, I think Sean Johnson is probably the best choice. I mean, I feel like it's between him and Blake, and while Blake has had an incredible season for the Union, and once again, there's times where he's just single-handedly stealing points for the Philadelphia Union, I think Sean Johnson just simply have a better season. I mean, you know, if you ignore what happened in the last game against Columbus, he has been absolutely flawless to a level where, yeah, there is definitely that discussion that he can not only be the number 2 for this U.S. men's national team in terms of goalkeeping depth, but even some could say that he could be the starting goalkeeper for this national team heading into the World Cup in Qatar. And, you know, the numbers basically backs it up. I mean, I think he has the most clean sheet so far for this season. I think he also has one of the best shot stopping percentage. He is a guy that is definitely going to be a goalkeeper that I think is right now at the top of the ranks in terms of the Goalkeeper of the Year award, and that I won't be surprised he might win this award at the end of the season. Now we go to left back, and I'm going to go with Kai Wagner. And again, this is a position, it was between Wagner and Palacio, and this was a tough one too, because I thought both of them are pretty good, but for me, I just feel like Wagner is a little bit better than Palacio. I mean, don't get me wrong, Palacio hasn't had an incredible season for LAFC, but so is Kai Wagner, and especially with the way that he's been doing it for the past couple of years, has been consistently being one of the best left back in the league. I think he definitely deserves a spot to start in this MLS All-Star starting 11. Now, we go to the center back partnership, and I'm going to put both center backs. And I'm going to go with Walker Zimmerman and Aaron Long. Now, what's interesting about this center back partnership is that this could be the center back partnership we could see the U.S. men's national team put when they go to the World Cup, especially with the way that Miles Robinson, you know, he's not going to be part of this national team with that torn ACL injury. It seems like most likely it's going to be Zimmerman and Long. And I think this could be a good test for both of them. I mean, there's been times where, you know, well, actually, I don't want to say there's been times, but you know, this is going to be a pairing that I think this game could be an experiment to see how well they do in kind of, I wouldn't say a pressure kind of situation, because, you know, it is an all-star game, it is kind of an exhibition, but, you know, with the way that there's always that ongoing discussion of which league is the best whenever they are compared, especially in an all-star game like that, you could say that it's kind of almost like a pressure situation, and that, again, for both of those guys, you know, like I think this two guys could potentially be the U.S. men's national team center back partnership heading into the World Cup. Both of them have been having an incredible season too, and both that certainly have been deserved to potentially winning Defender of the Year. So yeah, I'm gonna put both Walker Zimmerman and Aaron Long in the center back partnership, and the right back position, I'm gonna go with Julian Araujo. Really, this is probably the weakest position in this All-Star 11, because when I look at the option, it was between him and and DeAndre Yedlin. And after seeing how DeAndre Yedlin has played, including that game where I actually saw him in person play when the Quakes took on Inter Miami, I'm still baffled that the fact that he is considered an all-star, and that I really think the only reason why he's considered an all-star is because he is kind of that household name in the U.S. men's national team and kind of that veteran presence. Because other than that, I just don't see how he is worthy of an all-star. Like, I see better right back in this league than what I see with DeAndre Yedlin, and that, yeah, it still kind of is one move that, there's one player that I think probably didn't deserve to be here if it wasn't for our namesake. It's definitely going to be DeAndre Yedlin. So, yeah, the other option is Julian Araujo, and Araujo isn't really the best option either, because it's not like he has had an incredible season for the Galaxy too. So, yeah, I just kind of had to go with the better option out of those two options that aren't really worthy of an all-star, and I'll just give Araujo the benefit of the doubt, because I think he is definitely a lot better. Or even if he's not playing very well this season for the Galaxy, he's definitely playing much better than what we've seen with DeAndre Yedlin this year. But now in the midfield, and in one of the holding midfield, I'm going to go with Ilie. So holding midfield, this is a position where, I have a feeling even in this 4-2-3-1 that Adrian Heath is going to most likely fill out in my formation of choices. There's really not a lot of holding midfielder I can choose. Like, when you look at this all-star roster, it's filled with number 10, and don't be surprised the next player that I put in the holding midfield spot is actually a number 10 in the league. But obviously Ilie is going to be the player that is going to be starting in the holding midfield, and he deserves it. I mean, it's been an incredible season for Ilie Sanchez, and almost a revitalized season for him, because during his latter year with Sporting KC, you can definitely see the writing was maybe on the wall that he maybe age a little bit, because he is getting up to that age, and now he's with LAFC, and he is just running the show in the midfield. Like, he is looking like the Ilie that we saw a couple years ago with Sporting KC, and again, I think he is going to be a guy that's going to be locked down in that midfield for the MLS All Stars. So, yeah, he's going to be one of the holding midfield. Now, the other holding midfielder, like I said, there's so many number 10s, I had to, I simply can't just choose one number 10 out of all the central attacking midfielder that is in this roster. So I decided to go with two, and one of them that is going to kind of play out of position is going to be Carlos Gil. Though I wouldn't say that's really kind of out of position, because there's times where Carlos Gil has played more in a deeper position for the New England Revolution, and he can be a guy that can be a deep line playmaker. But yeah, obviously I think Carlos Gil is definitely going to be there. Another incredible season for the refs right now, and that you just simply can't not leave him out of the starting 11 when he is probably, in my opinion, the best passer in this league right now. He's an absolute magician in that number 10 spot, and I feel like he could definitely be the case in this starting 11. But now moving to the number 10 position, or actually, we'll get back to the number 10 position. We're actually going to go with left wing. And for left wing, I am going to go with Jordan Morris. And again, I think, there was a lot of criticism when Jordan Morris was selected as an all-star. And I get it, he just came back from injury, and that you can definitely sense that there were definitely a more well-known name in that position that probably should deserve that spot. But overall, when you look at the form that Jordan Morris has been ever since he's come back from his injury, it seems like he is starting to get much better and getting to a point where, I think the reason why he's getting much better is he knows that if he wants to maybe crack into that U.S. men's national team and get on that plane to Qatar, he needs to play very well down the stretch. So, yeah, I think he is going to be there in the left wing position. But now going to right wing, it's going to be Carlos Vela. I mean, I can't let Carlos Vela off in this starting 11, even though, again, I don't think Carlos Vela has had an incredible season so far, and that when you look at this LAFC team, I mean, as good as they are this season, they're not really carried because of Carlos Vela. I mean, I talked about many times, the reason why this LAFC team is so good this season is that they have multiple contributor on this team. Like, they are kind of a team that reminds me a little bit of, how should I say it? I think their team kind of reminds me a little bit of the Philadelphia Union when they won the Supporters Shield, where there's like multiple players that can get it done. And usually when you face against teams that have multiple players that can get it done, and they always have a guy that can score the big goals for them, those are always the most dangerous team to face, because you just don't know who to stop. I mean, you might stop one good attacking player, but then you also have another attacking player that has the threat to score goals. And that's also kind of the reason why we haven't seen Carlos Vela really break out, because he hasn't really been heavily rely on as the guy to really carry this LAFC team. But like I said, in terms of namesake and in terms of how this MLS All-Star game is built out, it is very hard to leave Carlos Vela in that spot, no matter how you look at it. So yeah, I think he's going to be there in that right wing position. But now we get to probably the toughest position for me to choose in the starting 11, and that is the all-important number 10 position. And for the number 10 position, gotta go with Driussi. Now, I know it's probably going to be Reynoso that's going to be there, because, again, Adrian Heath is coaching this team, and I have a feeling he's going to put both of his Loons player in the starting 11 in this one. But for me, it has to be Driussi. Like, Driussi, there's a reason why he is probably right now leading the MVP race right now. He is just single-handedly carrying this Austin team in these past couple of games, and that he is not only the most lethal passer, well, one of the most lethal passer in this league, but he was also a guy that could be a dangerous goal scorer too. Kind of reminds me a little bit of how what Hani Mukhtar is doing with Nashville SC. And by the way, I didn't put Hani Mukhtar on this team, and I mean, there really wasn't a lot of spot I can put Hani Mukhtar there. Maybe I could have, now that I think about it, maybe I should have just put Hani Mukhtar in Vela's spot, or even in Jordan Morris' spot, because of the fact that, again, you can definitely sense that maybe the season that he's been in the starting, or the season that he's been in so far this season, deserved to be in the starting 11. But again, I still will go with both. I'll probably just stick with both of these players, and that I usually never want to put players out of position. That might be something that we could also see with Adrian Heath. He might play some guys out of position, because I think in the past we've seen that happen in the All-Star game, where players maybe play out of position, mainly because it's just such a talented team that you sometimes gotta put some players that doesn't usually play that position for their club level, and they play in the other position. So, but for me, if I want to look at this game as a way for the MLS All-Star to win, I try to keep players in the position that their club basically put. And Driussi, of course, is a guy that plays in that number 10 position for Austin, and again, he is probably right now the best number 10 in the league, and a guy that unsurprisingly is running for MVP this season. And then now moving forward to the number 9 position. Now, I want to put Brandon Vasquez, and the reason why I probably will not put Brandon Vasquez there, you know what? Actually, I'll put Brandon Vasquez on here, but it's probably not going to be Vasquez. And the reason why I say that is because Chicharito is the captain of this MLS All-Star team. And as the captain of the MLS All-Star team, it's pretty much automatic, the fact that he is going to be in the starting 11 in this team. So I guess, I'm going to kind of cheat a little bit, and I'll just say Chicharito on here. But if Chicharito wasn't named the captain, I would have 100% gone with Brandon Vasquez. Like, Vasquez is right now the most informed striker in MLS right now. He is a guy that is just scoring for fun, and a guy that really is kind of the first time we've seen a domestic American player that have really just scored goals for fun in MLS, probably since the Landon Donovan and the Clint Dempsey day. Well, actually, mostly Landon Donovan when he was with the Galaxy, and he was just kind of score for fun during that time. And that, again, it seems like it's the case for Vasquez, and it's also the reason why there's now a lot of discussion about Brandon Vasquez and the fact that maybe he might be the guy that could be the answer to the one of the biggest question for the U.S. men's national team heading into Qatar, if not the biggest question, which is the number 9 position. Well, actually, it's one of the biggest question because that team still has a lot of issue to deal with. But that's kind of the one that's been a long time issue going back to last season. And again, with the form that Vasquez has been in with FC Cincinnati, it is hard to not put him in this All-Star 11. But like I said, it's probably not going to happen because, again, Chicharito is the captain of this team, and that as a captain, it's pretty much automatic that you are going to get that spot in the starting 11. But either way, let me know in the comments below what do you think of this MLS All-Star 11, and let me know in the comments below your MLS All-Star 11 that's going to be taking on the Liga MX All Star on Wednesday. And actually, by the time I upload this video, because this is actually a pre-recorded video, this will be uploaded the day before the MLS All-Star game. And the reason why I say it's pre-recorded is because I'm actually going to the MLS All-Star game in Minnesota on Wednesday, and I am definitely pumped up of going to that game. Get to see some of the best, if not the best player in MLS facing a showdown against Liga MX again. And that, yeah, even though this game is going to be a friendly, I guarantee you that this game will not feel like a friendly. This game will feel like it's almost like a championship, and almost feel like a cup final for both of these leagues that is colliding and continue this long historic rivalry, and also just kind of discussion of which league indeed is the best league. But yeah, either way, let me know in the comments below what do you think of this video. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you guys like, smash the subscribe button, and yeah, I of course will see you guys next time.